Say hello.
Good afternoon.
So, Linford does have some dates and times for us about the holiday party that he was speaking about.
So the agency holiday party, which is open to the public, is gonna be held on December 11th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it will be held at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Recreational Center, somewhere close to the Central Post Office area.
Oh yeah, I know where it is.
So it's open to the public, lots of fun. DJ Chuck Shilling will be there. We'll have Mr. and Mrs. Claus bring the children down. Lots of enough food to feed everybody. We'll have entertainment. We'll have gifts and toys for the kids. So come on down and have some fun with the agency staff. It's open to the public.
And it's free
of cost. There's no charge. The only charge really is to show up.
So, going back to charging, I know that on December 1st, for the World AIDS Day event, you are looking for toys.
Yes. As usual, our agent, but this year we would like to have persons, when they do come, to bring something, either a toy or a non-perishable item, because we do, during the course of the holidays, we do provide gifts and toys to parents and grandparents, so individuals are able to come in and shop specifically for their children or grandchildren, age appropriate, of course. So the more toys we get, it's better for us because we'll be able to meet some of the needs that we don't get funding for. We also work with some individuals who are at risk of homelessness or have experienced homelessness, and we provide them once per week with hot meals. We would very much like to get some non-perishable items such as sardines and tuna, or those microwavable popcorn, or microwavable macaroni and cheese. Would love to water, so that personal care items. So individuals can bring those. If you don't get to come to the event on December 1, which I hope you do come, you can always bring those things down to the agency and we'll gladly collect them. Warm clothing, socks. It's winter time. I'm from Jamaica and I know it's very cold.
It's
so,
very cold.
must be very well use some of those warm clothing.
Okay.
So bring yourself and bring those toys and.
All right, so I know that this AIDS thing has been going on for about 27 years, I think. And you guys started. What year did you guys begin in Worcester?
The agency was established in 1987.
Right. Okay.
But that was the formalization of the agency. But I believe a group of individuals came together when HIV was impacting the community.
Let me
Look. Martha said, let me take that.
I just took the mic away from Linford.
That's fine, Martha.
It began at Packagug Church in Auburn because people had their loved ones, young men for the most part, brothers and nephews dying of a mysterious disease, and they didn't know what it was because it took a few years for it to be identified. And these families got together as a support group, and Packagug Church in Auburn hosted them. And then once the disease was identified, it went from a support group to Aids Project Worcester.
Okay. So what made you guys get involved? When did you both decide to get involved? And what made you say, I want to get involved in AIDS World Day? If you don't want to share, it's okay. I just was wondering if there was anything that made you say, or were you affected by anyone with HIV that made you want to help in what's going on?
I started by being on the board of directors at Aids Project Worcester. I was working for a state representative at that time, and he wanted his staff to be involved with the community. So I started on the board, and then I worked on a subcommittee to raise funds for the agency. And as I got to know the staff, I realized that Aids Project there are women and men on staff who made some difficult choices, and they became active drug users. They were commercial sex workers to feed the habit, and then they got clean and sober. And today, they're senior staff at the agency. They're overseeing 6 or 8 other staff members. They're making a huge impact in the community. But they started as people that other people would have just stepped right over and just kicked to the curb. But today they're wonderful people and contributing. And when I saw that change and the impact they can have, that anybody can have, it was inspiring. And so that's how I started.
You are the director.
I'm one of the directors. I'm not the executive director. I was director of development, which is raising money for the agency. And then a couple of months ago, I was asked to also become the director of prevention and screening, where we offer free testing.
Okay. And you?
So I, as I said earlier, I'm from Jamaica, and I started out working or volunteering in the HIV area since 1991.
Okay.
With an organization back home called Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, and I got involved because I'm a gay man in Jamaica, and HIV, like most other places, were affecting the community, and I got involved as a result of that. So I've been involved in HIV work since 1991. When I came to Worcester here, I got involved with Aids Project Worcester, and I've been there since June 2008.
Okay.
And I suppose there are times when I've asked myself, how is it that I've not yet burnt out?
Right.
How is it that I've not gotten tired for having been in the field for so long? But I also believe that not everybody is meant for this type of work. And it takes a lot of strength and courage and some compassion and love for somebody to survive in this field, because some of the realities that or some of our experiences working with individuals who are living with HIV can be can make you emotional, or it can affect you mentally, and you have to be strong to go through these situations with your clients so as to ensure that at the end of the day their lives are positively impacted. As Martha alluded, a lot of individuals are involved with different challenges or face different challenges, whether it's opiate use, whether it's commercial sex working, whether it's domestic violence. They come to us with different issues and different challenges that they're facing. And as a result of that, we have, as workers, we have to remain strong and use, in some instances, using our own personally lived experience to help them navigate the journey of living with HIV, because the reality is that it's not an easy journey.
Right.
And support is always needed. So for those folks listening to this show, one of the takeaway message I'd like to pass on to you is that you have to look at what is it that you can do to impact the lives of your fellow brothers and sisters, because at the end of the day, whatever you and I do affects everybody.
Right.
It's like the domino effect. What happens in America does impact those folks in the Caribbean or those folks in Africa. I remember there was a saying that goes that if America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. The reality is the domino effect. So we have to find a way of lifting up our brothers and sisters from a place of hopelessness to a place where they are able to say, yes, we can have long-term sustainability. There's the issue of homelessness affecting members of our community. And if someone is homeless, I've experienced homelessness before, so I know what it feels like. I was out last night with a couple of my Jamaican friends, and one of them was saying, God, I don't want to be homeless in America, especially at this time of the year.
Right,
and
right.
The reality is that the struggle is real, and the struggle is real for a lot of folks. So we have to come together and work as one unit collectively to look at ways of how to address some of these barriers that exist and the challenges that exist.
And that's the Positive Impact Show for you, isn't it? You would definitely listen to the Positive Impact Show. I've known Linford now for a couple of years, and I met Miss Martha as well. And the passion that they have for each individual at the center, you can feel that when you walk into AIDS Project Worcester. Now, one of my questions is it a lot of the people that work for AIDS Project Worcester now were formerly involved with something, right? So they were like members and then they became staff?
A number of the staff started as volunteers.
Okay.
And a number of staff also started perhaps as clients. and then transitioned over. Like we have peer staff,
Yes.
which is people living with HIV,
Mhm.
and nobody knows better, how to disclose to other family members or how to stay medically compliant than someone who's living with a disease.
Yes.
So we have 4 peer staff. We have 4 peer staff now, right?
Yes.
Linford?
Yes.
Linford's writing down busy notes right here. And we have 4 people on staff who are living with the disease who can help somebody either newly diagnosed or someone who's fallen out of medical care get back into it and get back on their meds. Because if you take your medications, living with HIV can be like living with a chronic disease, whether it's diabetes or a host of other long-term chronic illnesses that impact your life. But when Michelle Smith, who's the executive director, began 21 years ago, she began as a case manager, and she said she was having 4 people a week die because the medications just, they didn't know what to do to help people. And today we have people who've been living with HIV for 20 plus years, and if you saw them walking down the street, they're robust and they look great and they have lots of energy, and that's what happens. That's what can happen when you stay medically compliant. I mean, you can live a normal life, with some challenges, but a normal life and have kids and have family and celebrate the holidays and just have a joyous life.
I agree. So I want to take a pause, and then we're going to come back and speak a little bit more on some other details. Linford, don't look at me like that. You know, you can't do that to me. But we will come back and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the workshops that you guys do and things like that, so people really understand what AIDS Project Worcester does. And there's also a pharmacy there and everything. So there's a lot of things that goes on at AIDS Project Worcester that I want everyone to know. So we'll have the DJ Cookie take us out. Linford and Miss Martha. And like we said before we went off air, I want people to really understand and know what AIDS Project Worcester really does on a day-to-day basis. I mean, don't give everything. But I know you guys do workshops and you have the testing and all of that, and there's a support that's there and that compassion. I want people to really understand that part of it.
So first of all the services that AIDS Project Worcester provide is free.
Yes.
There's no charge. You just come, get whatever services you need to get, and you can stay if you like, or you can just go about your daily business. There's some services that are specific to those persons, and it's by no fault of ours. It's just the way that the funders operate.
Yep.
Because we always look at money, and most of our money comes with restrictions. So we do offer a number of services to individuals who are not HIV positive. They could be HIV positive and access the services, but it does not necessarily. You can be HIV negative and access those services. And those services includes our free HIV testing, or free hepatitis C testing and syphilis testing. We also have a nurse practitioner that comes in on Thursdays at 3 o'clock. She offers consultations around sexually transmitted infections, as well as any other medical issues that individuals have, and it's all free of cost. We also offer gonorrhea and chlamydia testing, and we offer sexual health appointments to see the nurse practitioner, as I said earlier. And these services are all free. Now, there are some other services that are specific to individuals living with HIV. So, for example, we have a several number of HIV positive support groups. As Martha mentioned earlier, we do offer support, not just support that you sit with persons one-on-one, or we offer support groups that you can interact with individuals who are also living with the HIV disease. That way you can share information regarding treatment, regarding challenges, and get some feedback from individuals such as your peers who are also living with HIV. We also operate a very good food pantry. This is on Tuesdays, 3 Tuesdays out of the month. You can come in and get food items. Now, I'll tell you this from a not so biased position that AIDS Project Worcester is one of the best food pantries in the city. And I say that because we offer to our individuals, because living with HIV, there's the issue of nutrition and good nutrition. So we offer individuals, there's chicken, there's pork,
You always talking about pork.
Don't you want any jerk pork?
Chitlins.
No,
Chitlins.
really? Now, y'all know I don't do swine. Can we talk about everything but pork? I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Okay,
the best food pantry ever. Go ahead.
We talk about chicken.
That swine got me over here sick. But go ahead.
But we also offer fresh vegetables and fresh fruits, and we also have within the pantry eggs and milk, rice, and other canned produce.
Like you give a full meal.
Yes, and individuals are able to actually shop for what they need and not necessarily what we think they should have. So we allow for that sense of independence. We also run a transgender support group for individuals who are transitioning.
Yes.
To offer them
I just want to shout out Chastity.
Yeah, shout out.
I'm
to
just
Chastity.
saying.
Chastity, you're being given a shout out. What are you doing? So we do offer those support groups because we do recognize, as I said earlier, that we come from a place of compassion and a place where we do not judge individuals. And because of those reasons, we are able to offer non-judgmental support to individuals who seek those supports. We have within the agency the ability to help financially, limited finances through the housing department. If someone is moving, first of all, you have to qualify at some point. Yes. But if someone is moving into new apartment, we have the ability to offer them first and last month's rent. And I know that's not easy to come by when you're moving. As a matter of fact, just the thought of packing is very difficult. So you can imagine the financial challenges that comes, and most persons who are living with HIV, from our experience, are earning average $710 through Social Security per month. Now you and I can't survive on $710. You and I can't survive on even $1,000. Imagine them surviving on $710 monthly to pay rent. The average rent cost in Worcester is about fair market for one bedroom is $823 for fair market. So imagine someone earning only $710 and paying rent for $823. So we do have financial support to assist individuals to move in. Now, if somebody is living in their apartment and they're struggling for whatever reasons, whether they relapsed, whether they had a death in the family, we are able to, providing that they meet certain eligibility criteria, we are able to offer them assistance with rental arrearage or back rent that is owed for up to 147 days. So a lot of folks, particularly, especially those individuals in the African immigrant community, they don't know that these services exist. And we want to use the opportunity to tell them that these services exist and they can access these services. And if they're afraid of coming to the agency, we'd love to have them there. Well, we don't mind going to them. So if they access services at Family Health Center or UMass or wherever they access services, as long as they feel comfortable with us coming to them, we will go to them, because we believe that there should not be any barriers in individuals' ability to access services that are going to help them in a positive way. And finally, we also offer financial assistance for eating source, especially in the winter time. So for persons who use oil or propane or electric for or gas for eating, we can also offer them financial support around that. So a lot of services are there that individuals can access. We also have Swaggly, supporters of Worcester area gay, lesbian youth. They're housed right there in the building. We want to say to the young folks, come on out. We offer good support systems. There are individuals that are also identify as members of the gay community or lesbian GLBT community, you can come in and sit with them and have a sense of belonging, because you and I know from experience that most times when persons are ignorant of stuff, they tend to ostracize folks or shun folks. We have a policy where we have an open door policy where you can come and feel belonged. And I say that, and I remember when I was living in Minnesota, one of the first things.
You said Minnesota, y'all. I'm just saying. He said Minnesota. That's what everybody to understand to hear that. Minnesota.
All of Worcester now is prepared for what you're about to say.
Listen, it ain't cold in Worcester. When you go to Minnesota, then you talk about cold. But I remember when I went to college there, one of the first things that I did as I walked on campus was to look for another black individual.
Yes.
So I use that example to say that as individuals, no matter where we go, we always seek out community because we are able to identify and feel a sense of belonging. So as a collective body, as I said earlier, we have to find a way of ensuring that every individual feels important and every individual find a place where they can call home or belong.
I love that. I know you got a question over
So, kind of a statement. So, as a Christian, what you're talking about, and when I say I'm a Christian, everybody knows what you know where.
Did you just pray?
As a Christian,
I went into the spirit.
Okay,
good. I'm glad you went into the spirit. So, as a Christian, you know, a lot of people will expect or will hear when someone says that to hear something combating or hear something to kind of go against what you're saying for support. But I actually applaud what you guys are doing, that you guys are providing support for people. Because the last thing I want to do as a Christian is have people feel like they can't come to me or they can't talk to me because they're going through something that might go against what I believe. And then that leads to people wanting to commit suicide or leading people to want to, you know, do things to themselves because they're not happy with who they are. They feel that sense of not wanting. But, you know, as a Christian, that's the last thing I want anyone to feel, that we don't want them in that way. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. And, you know, showing support. I didn't know that there was a support like this out there. You know, when you came here, I thought we were just going to talk about people with HIV and then that's it. But, you know, it's a lot more than that. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And I'm just happy that there are places like this for young kids who are dealing with that, who are having, you know, those feelings and feeling like they're alone or feeling like they're not, feeling like they don't belong to some places. As you guys are fighting over the mic.
the backhand was about to come out.
I had to slap his hand.
I wanted to give a shout out, hallelujah. Just
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Another population that we've been working with is the intravenous drug users,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a population that, you know, it's another one that folks are, you know, they're in a dark place in their lives. They're struggling with a lot of issues. They've burnt a lot of bridges. And so we have a drop-in center on Friday afternoons for homeless folks. You don't need to be an active drug user to come in, but a lot of them are. Just if you need a meal, come in Friday afternoons from 2 to 4. We have a hot meal, and you can just sit and get out of the cold or get out of the rain or get out of the sun and the heat in the summertime.
Yep.
And it's just another inclusive thing that we provide for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the Narcan that people have been talking about in the city? I'm not sure if they're for it or not for it, but what is the benefit of having that out here?
Narcan is an incredible drug. It counteracts, it's an opioid antagonist, so it counteracts the effects of an opioid overdose. It kicks off the opioids off the brain receptors, and it sits in the little receptors, and it'll last for about half an hour. So we have seen and have participated in bringing people back. Their lips were blue, their fingertips were blue, they weren't breathing, their pulse was very, very weak. And it's a nasal spray, and anyone who wants to if you have someone that you know who is an opioid user, please come to AIDS Project Worcester. We'll train you in Narcan. You'll be given a kit to take home with you to have at home. If you come upon, you know, your friend, your loved one, your family member having an overdose, you'll be trained and know what to do. But we've come across people with, you know, blue lips and blue fingertips and have administered the nasal Narcan. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 doses, and they just come back. It's incredible. You can't harm somebody with Narcan. If it's not an opioid overdose, if it's some other kind of a drug, if it's an alcohol and you just don't know, You can't hurt somebody by administering Narcan. But it's just another way that the state is trying to deal with the opioid crisis.
Now, I know that, so for like every store or, like how, like around Main South area where it's a high concentrate of, unfortunately, drug users,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would almost be, and if there is, then just let me know. But I think it would be smart to have those there available, just like every one of those businesses have fire extinguishers. I think right next to the fire extinguisher should be a Narcan because a couple years ago, I used to live off of Main Street, and there was a guy laying on the ground blue.
Oh.
And I didn't know if he would, the first thing I said was, I'm black, I did not do this, I had nothing to do with it, I didn't kill him, I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started, trying to give him CPR.
Wow.
And then, I tried to do the mouth-to-mouth thing with the
Yeah.
thing. And, I just found out you don't even have to do mouth-to-mouth. So I felt like I was cheated. So, because, I'm sitting there blowing in his mouth and everything, and then he, like, kind of blew back. That's a whole nother horror story. But, is there anything like that in the works where they will have these Narcans? Because I did read that they are pushing for Narcan in Worcester a lot more.
Yeah.
But will they do it? Will they have it almost as a requirement for businesses?
I don't think legislatively or legally they could mandate something like that. But I think that there are a number of people who live in areas that have intravenous drug users,
Yes.
a community there, that they come in and say, I would like to have the Narcan available because I see this and I see folks suffering and I want to be able to know what to do should I come upon, just like you did.
Right. Well, and that's why this World's AIDS Day thing is important to me, because if I would have went to something where I would have been educated on it, I was like panicked. I was like recording, documenting. I was like, my name is William. I did not harm this man. I kissed him, but I did not touch him other than that, trying to give him mouth to mouth. And
But did you bring him back?
Well, you know what? Another lady drove up because he was laying in like leaves. So she drove up, she got out, she called the police, and then, the police came there, was like, oh, yeah, get the Narcan. And it was like the ambulance people, they were talking like, yay, so how about the Red Sox?
Yes.
And I'm like, it's like, my heart is racing. I'm
Yes.
thinking this is life or death trying to save him.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they gave it to him, and he came right up.
Isn't that amazing to see that effect?
Yeah.
It's instantaneous almost.
Yeah, I was like waiting for someone to say, hey, you're a hero, you saved the guy. And they just like drove off, put him in the ambulance, y'all drove off, and I was like, nobody cares that I just did all this. But I wasn't educated in it. So I think it's very important that people do go to this and then learn what it's like, because you could come anywhere. It could happen to anybody.
It could happen to anybody. And, we do the Narcan training from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then from noon to 5 p.m. Saturday. So anyone who wants to come down to our entrance at 12 Plymouth Street, and we'll train you. We'd be happy
That's
to.
right. You don't want to be kissing no guys. Their face is blue and their lips are purple. If you don't want to be kissing guys like that, then, go get that training, because you don't have to.
That's right.
Okay. So give us the phone number and your social media, because you're all over social media as well. So I'm very proud that you guys are about that life, because a lot of people are not.
I suppose I wanted to say, when our friend across the way mentioned about being a Christian, it's really appreciated that as a Christian individual, you are able to exercise some of the very discipline that our Maker told us to, or instructed us to. For those persons who are listening, one of the things, I was at 2 churches this morning. I went to Emmanuel Baptist Church on Main Street, and I also went to Greater Worcester, Greater Outreach Ministry at 221 Chandler Street. And I had the opportunity of speaking to these 2 sets of congregation. One of the Bible verses that I read to them was that the Bible spoke of fellowship one with another. In fact, according to Galatians 6 verses 2, it says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. So as individuals, whether be it we are Christians, be it we believe, whatever religion we believe in, it is our responsibility to take on the charge of addressing our fellow brothers and sisters, the needs of our fellow brothers and sisters. So it could be Christians, it could be not, as long as you hold true to the fact that I should be able to take care of my fellow man.
Right.
It's all good there.
And that's that respect that we're always talking about at the end of the day.
Right.
Respect me as a woman, a person, respect you as a man and a person, a human being at the end of the day.
Yes. See me as an individual first.
Right.
Yes. We can be reached at 508-755-3773. That's 508-755-3773.
You gotta do my voicemail.
You can also reach us on Facebook, where you can find us as AIDS Project Worcester, or you can find us at aidsprojectworcester.org. That's aidsprojectworcester.org, or on Facebook, AIDS Project Worcester. Send us an email, call us, ask whatever questions you want to ask of our front desk staff, and they will direct you to the appropriate staff person to answer whatever questions that you may have. And don't be shy.
Yes, don't be shy.
We are quite open to talk about anything.
Sometimes too much, but it's always there. But it's there if you have the question, they will give it to you.
And you know what? We have lots of lubes and lots of condoms and lots of information. And we have individuals who can actually show you how to properly use a condom, whether it's a male condom or whether it's a female condom. We have individuals on staff who will be able to demonstrate to you how to use those safer sex tools. And if you're shy to walk into the agency for condoms, just send us an email with your address, and we will put it in the mail as a nicely discreet package and mail it off to you. And you can be anywhere in Massachusetts and get this mailed to you. It's free of cost.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for
I
it.
wish they would have had this when I was a teenager. Like, look, man, this girl coming over. I ain't got time to run to the store.
No.
Let me call it.
There's no overnight delivery, though.
It's not overnight.
So
You got a plan.
So speaking of overnight and planning, I'm sure that sometimes we find individuals who uses drugs or are under the influence of some kind of alcohol. Guess what? I'd say to folks, if you know you're gonna drink, you know something might happen sexually, plan, prepare, walk with your stuff, walk with your tools.
Indeed.
You can't go to work without walking with your keys to get into the door or your tools or equipment.
Like, I'm so bad. I just went back to my 17-year-old days, and I was thinking like, oh, baby, I was just looking for a sign if we should do something or not. Wait, let me go check the mail real quick. See if something can. Girl, this is a sign from God.
I don't even know what. Like, my head hurts right now.
Father, forgive me. That was the old me. I'm a new being in Christ.
You are
He's
forgiven.
gonna take a pause for the cause because I'm not right now. So DJ, could you take us out? He said I went back to my 70s. He said it was a sign.
Scheme.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I used to scheme so much. Hey, baby, look. I didn't order them overnight.
They just came.
Here they are.
From the center. I didn't order them. They just came. I don't want to make God angry. Oh, man.
Live Periscope. So he texted me, yep, chitlins okay. I'm like,
I said chitlins on fleek.
yeah, oh yeah, that was the word, on fleek. I don't know what fleek means, but chitlins on fleek, greens, and everything else. And I'm just like, did he really start with chitlins for
With the
me?
pork.
Oh,
The swine.
oh God.
Wow.
He did that on purpose though. That's why I didn't reply back. Because I know he did that on purpose. I did not even reply back.
I'm glad I didn't see that. My aunts came down from Canada and decided they're going to do some big time cooking with my mom. When we finished, the entire table was full of food.
That's what it's supposed to be.
No. We usually have like enough space for plates and stuff. We were lucky enough to get plates on them tables. After Grace has said and everything, I'm downstairs in my room moaning something serious. Like, I ate
He
so
said moaning.
much.
He was moaning. I didn't moan.
Last year I had enough room for seconds. I didn't even finish. I didn't finish this plate. I was just done.
Because you was being greedy.
I was not being greedy.
It sounds like you've been greedy.
I have them aunts where if you show them food and you talk about, hey, I got some great food, and they make food to try and top that, they will make you eat that food and tell them how it tastes.
Mm.
And they're competitive too, so it makes it even worse.
I have to go through that. But I do want to give our guest speakers, Mr. Linford and Miss Martha, last words. And I want to thank you with everything in my heart for coming on the show. And I'm very honored because Linford didn't say it yet out loud, but I am the MC, one of the MCs for the Tuesday event.
I did give you a shout out
Listen,
earlier.
but I wasn't here, so I didn't hear it. But doesn't matter. And Mr. Chuck Chillin, me and him will be MCing the event this year. So I'm very excited because I've never done that before either. So I'm very excited. And he spelled my name and everything right too.
Oh, good.
So yes.
I just want to go to that note.
So last words. Go right ahead.
So last words, Martha.
Martha.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Chantal. Bye, Will.
Oh, I'm not leaving.
Okay, good.
He just gonna go sit.
All right. First of all, thank you for this opportunity to reach out to your audience and let them know about the work that we do at Aids Project Worcester. So appreciate it. Thank you for emceeing this coming Tuesday night. We're looking forward to that. Anything, like any nonprofit, we work on donations and our funding is restricted. We're funded by the Department of Public Health and the Boston Public Health Commission, and we do get some grants also. But donations are critical for those. We want to do a special meal for the holidays. We want to do something special for our clients. Bingo night. We try to do that once a quarter. Those kind of monies aren't in our budget, and it would be wonderful if anybody had anything in this season of giving, if they could send us a donation. No, the amount doesn't matter. We take checks, and of course we also have PayPal on our website if they want to use that. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to your audience, Chantal. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I just got a text from one of my coworkers. I want to give Michelle Smith a shout out. She's listening. She said that I have a very smooth voice.
I told you you had that radio voice. Michelle, you have to tell me how I sound now. So text Linford to let me know.
And a shout out to all the APW staff and clients. I posted on Facebook recently that the clients makes my day, and that's what I was thankful for during the Thanksgiving season, because without the clients, I'd probably not have a job. Not only so, I'd probably not have much to do with the passion that I come to the table with. So I thank the clients. We recently hired a African outreach worker, and their primary role is to connect with the African immigrant community. So for anybody, any questions?
Is that Chioma?
No, that's Keturah.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk about Shioma in a little bit here. But Keturah is our new outreach worker, and her job is to connect with the African immigrant community. And she can go to them. They don't have to come to us. We would love to have them come and see what the facility looks like, but she can go to them. If persons have any questions, they can go ahead and email us at info@aidsprojectworcester.org, and the email is confidential, so they can email whatever questions they choose to, and we will respond in a very timely manner. And lastly, I know that Chioma, our good friend Chioma from Multi-AIDS Coalition in Boston, they're running a study around Africans and how they go about communicating healthcare and healthcare issues. If individuals are interested in participating in the survey, they just have to answer very few questions. There's a gift card of $20 incentive. On December 19th at Aids Project Worcester, there will be a focus group. Email us at info or call us, and we'll be able to give you more information on that. With that said, on Tuesday of this week, remember to come on out. 6 to 8:30 p.m. we'll be having our World AIDS Day event. It's going to be a very fun event. It's going to be an event filled with information that you can go about and bring to others within the community. It's right in the main South area. Bring someone with you. We'll give you some food. It will not be real food, but it will be food. It won't be chitlins.
It definitely won't be.
or leftover turkey. But we will have some refreshment, and come out and listen to Margaret Early and Gloria Searson and participate in the event, and I look forward to seeing you. Again, thank you so very much. For those persons listening, thank you very much for listening to us as we ramble on about what HIV/AIDS is
He's a
doing to the
natural.
community.
World's
And,
face though.
They're making me blush.
Will's
But
face.
again,
I
thank
ain't
you so
making you
very
blush
much.
if you're missing chitlins again.
Again, thank you, Chantel.
You guys are both very welcome, and thank you for coming on and trusting me to come on and, not hurt you. Because Linford was nervous. But I want to definitely say thank you. I think the information that was given today is going to be very beneficial. It will be up on our Facebook page as well. Oh, God. Michelle, that's not nice. Hallelujah to chitlins. Anyway.
Yes!
No. But make sure that you do come out on Tuesday, 6 o'clock at Clark University in the Tilton Higgins Hall. Make sure that you come out. Also, remember December 11th is their annual Christmas party where DJ Chuck Chillin will be DJing from 5 until 11, 5 until 9.
The holiday party is from 5 to 9 p.m.
5 to 9 p.m. and that's at Aids Project Worcester.
No, that's gonna be at
Okay, you guys
I'm
give
sorry.
information.
It's gonna be at the Our Lady of
Our Lady,
Mount Carmel
Mount Carmel.
Recreational Center.
Yes, off of Shrewsbury Street.
Yes.
See, I knew that. I got you.
And it's
then-
free and open to
And
the public.
everything that I just mentioned is free and open to the public. And also December 19th, if you want to be a part of that forum, please also contact Linford and his crew and Miss Martha if need be. Remember, you can find them on Facebook at Aids Project Worcester. You can email them at info@aidsprojectworcester.org. I want to thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Darius Stone.
No
You
doubt.
gonna talk about chitlins?
I'm not going to talk about chitlins, but before we leave,
Okay.
and it gave me a little bit of excitement. Adele,
Okay.
do you like Hello?
I do.
Yes.
I like Joe's
I
rendition.
hated Adele. I hated that song at first when I first heard it, but now I can't get that song out of my mind.
And she
Stuck
keeps,
in
she
your
is
head.
smashing records every time she opens her mouth.
I'm talking about like,
You do?
Oh.
So you should play that.
yeah. So
We're gonna end with that.
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, I mean, in the shower, in the car, I'm just like,
You just
California side, I must have
Oh, yeah,
gone
she's
1,000 times to say. I don't know the rest of the words, but I mean, whatever it's it. I'm on it. Boy, I love that song. I have church with I wish it was a Christian version. You know they're gonna make a Christian version.
You know
of
they
the
are.
song.
They're going to hear.
Yeah, I can't wait because that's the one I want to sing.
Personally, I like the Trevor Hunt version though. Go on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
The dude from The Voice. Check that one out. He killed
But
it.
Joe killed it, I think. Joe
I gotta
did
check
it. And I think I might be a little biased because he is from Fort Benning, Georgia.
Look,
I love you.
I'm gonna check out the other covers. That was the first one I heard. I was just browsing through his YouTube and I saw Hello cover. I'm like, oh, okay, let me finally hear his edition of this. But I will be checking the other ones. I've been hearing some interesting ones. This is other guy. I think he called him 25-second songs or something.
Oh.
He does like different editions. Like he'll do a song by, for example, he did a song. This one, he did Hello, but he also did it in the voicings of Adele. He did the voicings of 3 Inch Nails or 5 Inch Nails. I forget what the group is called. Don't sue me, y'all.
9 Inch Nails.
3579. You know, something. It's an inch somewhere.
He does different editions from different groups or singers of a song. Like, I definitely remember he did like a Backstreet Boys edition of it throughout some point of the song. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. It's not as good as Trevor Hunt's joint, but it was pretty good. Check that one out too.
All right, so everybody, you gotta look it out. We are gonna hear the remix because we have to shout out the coolest DJ outside of DJ Smooth Spinner. DJ Cookie took me back, son. Like he
I wasn't ready
took
for
me
half of
back.
the songs.
So I am very happy. And just know you are always welcome back. You let me know, and we will make it so that you can come on and Spinner can sit down here with us and talk maybe.
I like his hat.
Look, Lord Jesus. We're going to take a picture of the hat so y'all understand what Darius is talking about.
I like his.
But aren't you playing tonight?
Yes, I'll get a Caribbean hot mix.
All right, so DJ, you can catch him on 97.5
Shout
Nichols
out.
College Radio,
Yeah.
7 to 8.
78 Caribbean Hot Mix DJ Cookie. Yeah.
Yes. What's your social media links? Tell them how to get in contact with you.
Alright, well, get in contact with me is simple. DJ Cookie 23. That's my Instagram, my Twitter, and for Facebook, hit me with my page is DJ Cookie on the page. I have my own page too. If you want friend request me, it's Jermaine DJ Cookie Smith,
Okay.
and that's how you find me.
All right.
I keep it-
So I got you on Instagram. Now I gotta get the other ones.
Yeah, it's yeah. 23, the easiest one, and y'all link to anything else.
Okay.
Also in the Caribbean, if you want to hear remixes and stuff, not remixes, actually some of my mixes, find it on the Caribbean Hot Mix page and DJ Cookie page.
All
And
right.
on SoundCloud too.
Okay now. Well, I want to thank Will for staying with us, even though he's not feeling well. So we hope you get better.
Sugar's low. That's what it is.
So we gotta get some candy. We gotta keep candy on deck now.
Yep.
Now that I know.
Mm-hmm.
So Mama Bear is here. So we're gonna just make sure to tune in with us next Sunday, 2 to 4, same channel, same time, 2 to 4, 105.5 FM, the Positive Impact Show. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was cool, wasn't it?
So it was great. Now it's 2 hours of just love.
Blue eye.